Hi! So today, for my 3 on Thursday, I am coming to you live. So what I want to talk to you about today is, we're going to go back first, like I always do. I always go back. So when I was in my 20s, and if I were gaining weight, I did the South Beach diet. I also went walking, and the pounds would just come off. It was so easy to lose weight in my 20s. It was so easy. You just make a few tiny little things, and I walked 3 times a week and I lost a lot of weight. But that's our 20s, right? So that's me going back. And I want to go back about, let's see, 6 years now almost. In 2014, I noticed I was gaining weight again. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Because it was like, I'm not doing anything different than what I normally did. I'm not, I'm not eating bad, and I'm exercising. But was I really eating great? I worked in an office, and there were cookies and donuts on a weekly basis, and sometimes on the same day. And when those cookies came in hot and fresh, I wanted a cookie. And the donuts were never really hot and fresh because they always came from like somewhere between Knoxville and Nashville. But I still and I'd warm it up, because a warm donut it melts in your mouth. Am I right? Like, a warm donut melts in your mouth. It's so good. So, I had to really check myself, but I was like, I'm gaining all this weight. Something's gotta be wrong. Well, I went to the doctor and I had a bunch of tests run, and, everything looked good. My metabolism was way high for my age because I did work out. I exercised. I was overweight. My thyroid was a little off. And so I asked, I said, what can you do? And, to improve your thyroid readings when they're like this, because, it wasn't an extreme case. I was really close to, being in a good range. She's like, she gave me a list of foods, and a lot of it was like seaweed and things like that because of the iodine, but oatmeal was on the list. Oatmeal has iodine in it. So I started consuming oatmeal every day. Oatmeal, it improved, and I went back and got my test, and my thyroid was good. So, and then my B12 stores were low because, energy level was bad. And I had been, at that time, vegetarian for most of my life. And so I wasn't consuming red meat. And, B12 is one of the things that is stored in our body. We do have storage of a few things, and B12 is one of those things that are stored. And my store had run out, basically. It was really low, so I had to start getting shots. No longer take shots, but I do take a daily supplement for B12 because of energy. We need B12 for all sorts of things to happen in our body. And so, yeah, it's really important if you are low energy and things like that, to next time you go to the doctor, to get some things checked like that, because you never know, right? You never know. So anyhow, I went back and the tests were fine. I was like, okay, so nothing's really wrong with me. Why am I gaining weight? Well, let me just tell you, I had to kind of step back and look at what I was really eating. So today I want to talk about 3 things that you can do today if you are struggling with, why am I gaining weight? Why is it not working anymore? Like with this COVID thing, we're mindlessly eating, right? This is happening because we're at home all day long and we're able to just eat whatever we want. But let me just give you kind of 3 things to kind of get you pulled back in and to get you on track again. And so the first thing is you need to track your food. And I want to tell you, it's what I have to do as well whenever I get off track. And so I have a tally sheet as a vegan. Now, I am vegan now. I have to get in 6 servings of vegetables a day. 2 servings of fruit, 4 servings of protein, 2 servings of different categories of carbs, and a healthy fat, and like a seeds dressing, and then my teaspoons, which are like my nut butters and things like that. So this is the plan I follow. There are a couple of different plans that I've gone through over the years, and this is the one that kind of has stuck for me. I like a little structure when it comes to what I eat. So the thing is, so it's like when you track, and this, I haven't filled out today's yet. When you track, you can actually see what you're doing. Now, I want to say this. If you start tracking today, just do it for a week and see. No judgment. Just next week, look back and see where you can improve. Because we can't get it in our mind that we're going to give up something. We never can give in our mind that we're going to give up something. But when it comes to our health, we have to think when we stop eating all the ultra processed foods, all of that, when we stop eating all of that, we're not giving up anything. We are gaining our health. So you have to think of it, you have to change your mindset. Sure, all those packaged goodies are yummy, but they're not good for you. And we all know that, right? You know that. This is you knowing what you should be doing. I know you know that you should be eating more vegetables. I know you do. You know that you should be eating more vegetables. I know you know that. I know. We all do. So that's the first thing, is to track your food. And then the second thing I'm going to say is to get yourself a good water bottle. And before every meal, drink 8 ounces of water. Okay? You drink the 8 ounces and see if you're still hungry. And if you are still hungry, that's great. But what if you were just thirsty? Because sometimes thirst is hidden as hunger. It's like we get the signals confused in our body. So we have to really pay attention. So it's always good to drink about 8 ounces of water before every meal. And then when you're eating, don't drink anything. Chew your food. Chew your food up. That's an extra tip. Chew your food up so that it makes its way down in an easily digestible form so your body can function well. That's from my anatomy class last semester. So I'm going to have a drink. So that's my second tip. To drink about 8 ounces of water before every meal. And if you're going back for seconds, so let's say you sit down and you drink your water, you have your meal, and you're still hungry, drink another 8 ounces between that second serving. See if that might just fill you up enough so you don't actually have the second serving. Okay, let's move on to the last tip today. My last tip today is going to be relating to carbs. Now, a lot of people have heard about keto. We all know about keto, and keto is a reduction of carbs. And you get to a point where you're in ketosis. And I will just say this, fat burns or gives you a lot more calories than carbs do. It's, the fat that you intake, so if you are on like a keto diet and ingesting more fat, then you're going to have more calories to burn. But if you don't burn those calories, you're going to gain weight. So I believe, and I eat a vegan diet, but I believe everyone should be eating a predominantly plant-based diet, including carbs, fats, grains, and all those things as long as you can, because I understand some people have health conditions and can't eat certain things, but as long as you can, your body needs all these different vitamins and minerals from all this different food. Food is a way to fuel your body in order for your body to run efficiently. So my last tip, let's get there, it's to get yourself a measuring cup. Half a cup of carbs. That's it. So when you are sitting down and having a meal, and let's say you have your protein and you have, let's say it's like rice and something, protein. So your rice has to fit in this half a cup of serving, okay? So you put it in the half a cup serving, that's it. That's your carb. Like for me, I only get 2 of these a day. Now, I will say this. If you, and this is where you have to come to me to get into my accountability groups to understand this better, because not everyone just needs 2 cups of, or, a cup of carbs a day, a half a cup at each serving. Depending on your goals, depending on how much you weigh, depending on your activity, you may need more carbs, right? So I'm trying to lose weight, but if I was like in a maintained stage, I probably would still only get 2 servings of carbs, maybe 3. But the thing is like there is a science behind how active you are, how much you weigh, because let's just say this, you can't starve the weight off of you. If you start to starve your body, what's going to happen is your body is going to say, wait a second, I have some protein here. We're going to go take the protein, and then you're left in a really bad situation when your body goes after the protein to give you the fuel in order to fuel you through the day. You don't want that to happen. You don't want to starve yourself into weight loss. So all of this, it gets really complicated, and this is why I have accountability groups. This is why I'm a coach. This is why I want to help people with their goals, no matter if it's to maintain their weight, no matter if it's to lose their weight or even gain weight, because some of us want to do that. But you have to just, understand that it's not a one size fits all. We're all so different. And what works for you is not going to work for me, and what works for me is not going to work for you. But I do think these 3 things are simple enough to help you kind of get control of your current situation. If you've gained weight during the COVID crisis, if you've just gotten off track a little bit, maybe you just need a little bit of help. Drink water before your meal. Have a half a cup of servings of carbs, and track your food. Everything. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised about what you eat in a day when you don't track it. Like I was surprised when I was eating 5 cookies instead of just 1. So there you have it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.